Birdfin actually is a digital platform for families. Kids are at different ages, imbibe life skills at any age.
Hello, Mr. Ritesh Mehrotra. Welcome to Kahanis Golden Bytes. It's lovely to have you on the channel. I'm really looking forward to speaking with you because our viewers would be very interested in what you are doing. I know that having read about a little bit about your company, Birdfin.
Thanks, Joby. Looking forward to having a conversation.
Lovely, lovely, Ritesh. So, Ritesh, for the benefit of our viewers, we have a wide range of viewers. There are some who are young parents, and I know there is a lot of advice that we always get from everywhere, but there's something very interesting that you are part of. And I'd like, our viewers to hear it from you, Ritesh. What kind of a company is it? What kind of a product are you, do you have, Ritesh?
Right. Right. So Birdfin actually is a digital platform for families,
Of
right?
families.
Though we are saying that typically we want to target age groups of 5 to 18 years as kids, but families could end up using it for kids who are past their 18 years of age as well. Having said that, we are a group of 4 people who came together about a year back, and we felt we've all had kids. Our kids are at different ages. Some of them are going to college, some are in high school, some are in primary schools, and we all felt from a market needs standpoint, our kids actually are very glued to, I would say, YouTubes and Instagrams and Snapchats. And what they are lacking today is uh, a need around household chores, right? When we were youngsters, when we were in school, there were quite a lot of activities that we ended up doing at home, whether it was right from making your own bed to kind of cleaning your own room, which the kids today don't do. It is either luxury or we as parents don't feel there is a need for them to do anything specific. And then we also felt like a couple of our colleagues, their kids actually just went to college. And every time they needed money, every time they had a check to process, they would call up back in India. Some of them are actually in US, right? Asking their parents some basic questions. What do I need to write? How do I need to operate my bank account? Right? So we felt there is a need for us to look at a fun-filled application for families, whereby through an early stage, we are able to impart life skills. By imparting life skills, we are able to get a component of learning in, right? And through a digital currency, which is crystals, every time a kid is able to complete a task or a chore, they get to earn, right? So this is the combination of learn, earn, right? Once you earn, you have an opportunity to spend and save as well. So we are looking at it holistically, through which kids are able to imbibe life skills at any age, uh, right from 5 to 18, because we don't control when a kid would enter or a parent would download the app. But we would have the entire financial learning modules. We would have the chores list available for them to use. Also, the component around saving and spending, there will be a bank account that would be integrated with the product. And then we are also tying up with e-commerce platforms through which the kids would be able to spend on their own. So at a high level, we are looking at ELSS as a concept, not equity linked saving schemes, but earn, learn, save, and spend. That those are the 4 pillars on which the product is based on.
This is just lovely to hear, Ritesh. Uh, so, Ritesh, there were many thoughts going through my mind, and I'm sure the viewers are also experiencing that. This is one of the things that strikes me is that the entire family gets involved. It is not independent. Say for me, am I playing a game? I could be independent, cut off from the rest of the family. There is a connection between all the family members, and at convenient times, etc., people are updated. And let me just ask you, Ritesh, this kind of a concept is very uh, common, or it is, I won't use the word common, it is used maybe not through a digital platform, but in the Western world, these kind of chores, etc., and concept is already available there, Ritesh. Isn't that correct?
Absolutely. I think so culturally, if we look at it, right, and that is where we as a society are moving, right? Typically, a household in a Western economy versus an Indian economy, right? Typically, you would not have a housemaid or a help available, right? You would not have people coming in into your house for basic cleaning, cleaning your utensils, making lunches, dinners, breakfast, right? Whereas in India, that actually is a necessity today, right? But as you look at bringing up your kids, uh, you definitely would have a need for them to be independent. Once a kid goes to a college, right? As a parent, you are not enabling them to be able to live independently, right? So definitely, I would say culturally, maybe some inspiration that we may have taken from the Western world. But if you were to look at it, all four of us, when we got together, we had our own set of challenges where we felt there was an opportunity to look at something whereby kids do a lot of household activities, and then we look at instant gratification for them, something that you call as token economy, right, which actually motivates them, which actually spurs them to kind of come back to you and say that, okay, I have learned this, I have formed this as a habit. Now, can I move on to something different? So, yes, inspiration comes culturally from the Western world, but we all felt in our own lives that there was a need for something on these lines.
Lovely. So, Ritesh, so when you mention 5 to 18 years, I'm assuming this won't be a very complicated application, because if you're targeting 5-year-olds and 6-year-olds, I know for a fact they're getting more and more intelligent every passing year, but it also is not very complicated and things that anybody could use in the family, right? Is that correct?
Absolutely, absolutely. So as there are two or three points that I would want to cover here.
Yes, please.
The first one is around tasks, right? We've spoken to kids specialists, specifically when we got into designing of tasks. We've
Yes.
spoken to a lot of mothers.
Amazing.
We've spoken to people who specialize pediatrics, some child psychologists, when we kind of design the tasks, right? So for the ease of parents, what we have done is we have actually segregated the tasks appropriate to age years, right? So let's say, for example, a 5 or a 6-year-old, a habit around brushing daily in the morning, maybe a habit that a parent would want to focus on first, right? As you move towards tweens, it would be more about making your own bed, right? Or cleaning your own rooms at certain frequency.
Yes.
And as you move towards more teenagers, you would want them to go out and do grocery shopping independently, right? So we've kind of given our view around which tasks we feel are age appropriate, though we are not restricting parents to cross leverage the list basis where each and every kid may be as a part of either their learning or their upbringing. Um, so that's point number one around chores. The second thing, which is more about the usage of app, we do understand that typically kids until they are teenagers would not have their own device, whether it may be a tablet or a desktop, laptop slash mobile. So we've given the option to parents to be able to allow the kids to kind of leverage their device for updating the things that the kid would typically update. The third component is around the spending part, right? We've integrated everything, like a kid would have a wallet, a digital wallet. And we know in India, kids cannot have a wallet until they are 10 years of age, right? So all those points have been kept around in mind as we design the product.
This is just amazing. You've used experience, real life experience. You've spoken to a lot of specialists, and then you've come about this product. This is just amazing, Ritesh. Ritesh, one more question is that, does one have to have a bank account, and does the bank account have to be ICICI, or is that mandatory?
ICICI is a preferred banking partner, but we are not mandating any user to have a bank account only with ICICI. We want to keep it open for people to leverage it. Uh, from a regulatory environment standpoint, also, if you see, a saving bank account is something that we would not get access to, or we would not get any information back from the savings bank account. So how the app works is that once you convert the crystals, which happens depending on what the parents and the kids feel is the right frequency, though we recommend it to happen every month. When the money moves to the savings bank account, the app records the crystal, the digital currency conversion. Anything that happens outside the app, which is the financial transaction, we are actually not controlling that, and it's not happening on our platform. So we've kept it open source, though our preferred banking partner is ICICI.
Lovely, lovely. So you've tied up with ICICI, and this is across all cities, or is it only specific to a certain city, a tie-up with the ICICI Bank?
No, ICICI we've tied up for across. The tie-up at this stage is more about whenever there is a request from a parent to open a kid's bank account, we would be passing back that information to the ICICI team, and a local branch, depending on the city that the parent may belong to. If ICICI has a branch there, they would just go ahead and facilitate the account openings for the kids.
Lovely. So this looks like a lot of fun, but in that fun way, Ritesh, what your app is trying to do is actually teach, encourage life skills, and getting them more independent. And that's what your vision was, as you stated in the beginning. So it just seems to all tie in together, Ritesh, and it's wonderful to hear that. And how easy is it to download this app? How does one go about that, Ritesh?
Yeah, actually, at this stage, we are looking at launching the web version. Um, we would want to get a lot of feedback from people, and we would actually be leveraging the progressive web app, which is the PWA,
Okay.
which is more like a skin cover on a web, which will be available on Google Play Store. Um, an app, typically what we feel is very heavy on the mobile. PWA being much lighter is the way we want to go, which is what we all feel also is where the app stores would be headed in the future. So we wanted to make it light. Web version would be available immediately. The PWA version would be something that would be coming 3 to 6 months down the line.
Could I also ask you some aspects of the app, which is there is definitely chores, so the family stays connected. There is some reward there. Is there any social angle, because man is a social being? Is there any social aspect also that your app is going to be covering?
Absolutely. I think so. That's a wonderful question. Um, we want to inculcate the habit of giving back to the society pretty early, as far as kids are concerned. So we've got a tie up with Cry as we speak, and then we would want to expand that tie up to a lot of other NGOs as well. So when I spoke about the spend component, there are two elements to it. One is they just go ahead and spend on anything that they may want to buy. The other component around spend is also they could give it back to the society. Uh, it could either come in the form of efforts, or it could be a monetary benefit that they could pass on to somebody who needs it. And specifically for teenagers also, we would want to get them involved into group and community activities. I think so post COVID, once people come together, we'll see how that works out. But that would be an integral chore for teenagers in terms of how they come together and give back to society.
This just sounds so wonderful, Ritesh. You're also tackling a social angle, and to me, it looks like overall development just through this app. It just encourages certain behaviors that are so positive and helpful right through life.
Right.
Lovely.
Absolutely.
So Ritesh, what I'm going to put after the call is so that some of the viewers, whoever are interested in taking a look at this app, I'll put a link down so that they can uh, visit the visit your website, etc., and download and go about trying to install this. And it's been a wonderful conversation, Ritesh. This is, the many things that are happening across the country. It's lovely to hear. There are so many different dimensions that are trying to tackle the human issue, because that's only way things can, succeed, and it's very beneficial, cutting across all segments of society. So this sounds very exciting, Ritesh, and I, want to thank you on behalf of the viewers also for coming on this channel and sharing with us this wonderful work you and your, other co-founders are doing. Thank you very
Absolutely.
much, Ritesh, for coming on Kahanis Golden Bytes.
Thanks a lot. It was a pleasure talking to you, Joby.
Thank you, Ritesh.